Okay, everyone. Steve the Hurricane here, and I am very excited. As always, I'm always excited to be speaking with you because I love getting a chance to be in front of my people, and you are my people as we are all home care providers. And whether you are just getting started in this business, you've been in business for 15 years, you're thriving, you're struggling, and everybody else. We're all in this together and we're all helping to do our part for helping our seniors so that they can age in place with dignity and grace. That has got to be my favorite thing about being in the home care industry, being in the healthcare industry. Now, as we're getting started here and I see people are jumping on, I just want to make sure that everybody can hear me. That I'm doing this without the headset like I usually use because I've heard that the last couple times, for whatever reason, it was gargled and people had a hard time hearing me and understanding what I had to say. So I want to make sure that you can hear me. If you can hear me, please type in the questions on the GoToWebinar little panel here where it says questions. Just type yes if you can hear me loud and clear. I just want to see that, make sure we're all set, because I have some good stuff to go over with you over this next 45 minutes to an hour. And yes, everybody can hear me. This is fantastic. And so I'm very, very excited that everybody can hear me. This is good. The second thing I want to do is, obviously, as you're typing yes and that you can hear me where it says questions, this is how you communicate with me. I will do a Q&A at the very end. Answer any questions that you have. I have appointments on my calendar, but I have a little bit of time at the end here, so I will make sure that I'm available to you so I can serve you and help you to continue to grow and get everything that you need to answer your questions. So I want to make sure that I address that with you. If you have any questions, just type your questions where it says questions, and I will be sure to answer all of your questions at the very end. Another thing I want you to know too is normally I do this simultaneously with Facebook Live. I had a lot of things happening, so I didn't get a chance to set up the Facebook Live. So it's just right here on the webinar with all of us here right now, live and present. And I'm very excited about this presentation because scaling your business to $3 million and beyond is something that very few private duty home care companies actually accomplish. The most recent Home Care Pulse report, and I'm a big fan of Home Care Pulse. If you participate in the study, please continue to do so. It's amazing the feedback and the information that is given from those benchmark studies. So please continue to do so because it helps us to shape our industry. But from the most recent Home Care Pulse report that came out, I will tell you that less than 20% of all home care businesses that exist are doing $3 million a year and beyond. So if your business is doing $5 million, a lot of the things that I'm going to go over with you here, you're doing, but there are pieces that we may not be doing. And if your business is doing anything less than $3 million, you're probably not doing many of the things that I'm going to discuss here for you today. And so this is why I am here with you. This is why we're talking about this. And I will tell you that I'm going to be, as always, I share client testimonies with you. And the reason why I share client testimonies with you is because that's the proof in the pudding, right? It's one thing for me to be up here and guess, Steve, I owned at one point a $5 million a year home care business. And that was more than a decade ago at prices that were a decade from where they are today. So I can only imagine with our rate of growth, with the price increases, we would definitely be an 8-figure-a-year home care business had we not sold the company in 2011 and I started Hurricane Marketing Enterprises in 2012. We would be an 8-figure-a-year home care business, no doubt. Now, all of that said, that's great that I was able to do it. So yeah, I started my company and I'm training people on how to do it. But where are the people around the country, because I'm in New Jersey where it's densely populated, where's everybody else? That's why I share the testimonies with you, because I have clients all around the country, in all 50 states, no matter how urbanized or how rural or suburban or somewhere in between all of this, who are able to generate $3 million and beyond, no matter where you are in the country. That's a magic benchmark. That's a magic number. And that's why I put this together. To scale your business to this point, you have to be able to do that. Now, a couple things I want to do as well as we're getting started here and people are populating in and the number is climbing is, come on. Don't you just love technology when it wants to work? So let's just move on to the next one. I'll have to do it the old-fashioned way. Come on there, computer. Let's try it again. There we go. Talk about the boot camp for a second. A lot of you have heard about the Hurricane Boot Camp, but a lot of you are thinking, I really want to go, I really want to go, I really want to go. I'm going to tell you right now, we only have 25 seats left. The event is so close to selling out. In the next 2 weeks, it's going to sell out with the amount of tickets. We added 3 people yesterday. We're over 175. 200 is max. So we have 25 tickets left. So if you have been thinking about calling in and getting your ticket, here's the phone number to my office. I would suggest you call in now, today, and get a ticket to the boot camp because it's going to sell out. And a lot of people who are watching this are already coming to the boot camp, and you're probably thinking, I want to be a VIP because you get all this other stuff. There's only 10 VIP spots left. It's selling out. We only have so many spots left in that. So again, if you want to come, if you want to learn how to do everything that I'm going to talk about today, you got to be there. Get on the program because it's going to sell out, and I don't want you to miss out on this opportunity. I also want to let you know that we have a special. If you call in during this live recording, I always do things live. So if you call in during this live recording and you want one of the rapid results, which by the way, you get a free ticket to the boot camp when you get this kit. So this will give you the $3 million blueprint, which I'm going to review today. It'll give you how to create power partners. It'll give you how to close. It'll give you how to create a sales binder. It'll give you how to set up your schedule for marketing efforts. It'll give you a free coaching session. This is like $2,500 worth of stuff. And we have a special price on this, which will give you a free ticket to come to the boot camp. If you call in live during the webinar, my people are ready. You can get one of those last boot camp tickets, and you can get the rapid results kit, which you'll receive in a couple of days in the mail. So I just want to make that announcement to you. I also want to thank all of my sponsors for the upcoming boot camp. There's actually a 5th one that just came through. So we have another sponsor that's going to be there. These sponsors help me to offset the cost of the boot camp. The boot camp ticket is $7.99 for a 2.5-day conference. Most conferences that are 2.5 days, just to put it in perspective, cost $1,500 a ticket. But we're able to keep our costs down because of our sponsors. So I always want to recognize them: My CNA Jobs, Veterans Care Coordination, Matrix Care, and of course, my nonprofit, the Institute for Dignity and Grace, and Sabi, which is the latest sponsor that just joined us earlier this week. So I want to thank them as well. So now this is what I'm going to go through. Oh, you know this guy right here, that's me. I owned a $5 million home care business. I've been training people since 2012. We're going and growing and all this great stuff. That's just a cool photo of me at a boot camp. Part of the reason why you want to come to the boot camp, of course, is the energy that I will bring to help motivate you and inspire you to grow your business. Now, this is what we're going to cover in today's webinar. I'm going to go over specifically where do we go for business? Because if I want to scale my business, I got to know where to go. Then, once I know where to go, what do I have to do in order to get the referrals to come in? Then, if you know anything about me, and I just mentioned as part of the Rapid Results Kit, you get the full training on how to create power partners. We're going to talk about what a power partner is and why we need to have power partners to help us to scale our business to $3 million and beyond. Then I'm going to talk about differentiating, because every one of us has competitors. And in some places like Canton, Ohio, where I recently went to visit one of my mastermind clients at her office, she is a visiting angels, and right across the street is a Right at Home. Like literally, I pull into visiting Angels parking lot, and I look across the street and there's a Right At Home on the same road across the street. We all have competition. How do we differentiate ourselves? I'm going to touch on that. And then finally, now that I know where to go, now that I know what I have to do, now that I know I have to create power partners, and I have to differentiate, get inside the account. What do I have to do to get inside the account? And so when you do all of these things consecutively, this will allow you to get in front of the right audience and start the process of developing referral sources that will help you to get the referrals needed in order to generate $3 or more million a year every single year in your home care business. So everybody here, type yes if you're ready for me to get started. Are you ready for me to get started, folks? Type yes where it says questions now. And let's see who's ready to get started. Boom! Everybody's ready to get started. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Well, I'm excited for that too. So let's get started right now. All right, so the first thing we got to do is we have to know what are the best referral sources, because it all begins with where we're going to go. We all think, like, this is what I find most people who are not doing $3 million a year in revenue, we think we know where to go for business. And the reason why I say that is because logically it makes sense. Even when I first got started in 2005, I thought I knew where to go for business. I would go to any place that had seniors, any place that had care being provided, and just even when my very let's say second or third day on the job, the story that I always share was, I worked for Care Choice. I wasn't just an owner of the company right away. I was the director of business development. And in 4 years' time, for me scaling and growing the company, that's when I eventually became the vice president and owner. So I started out as a marketing rep. My second or third day on the job, Brian comes in with a folder. He took me out and introduced me to somebody that ended up being a waste of time later on in the future. And day two, he comes in and he slams on my desk a folder, and he goes, inside this folder here is the list of over 4,000 healthcare entities in our service area. Start marketing. That's how I got, it was literally baptism by fire. You're a marketer, go marketing. Now, if I were to take you back to 2005, I was not just new to this type of marketing, but I didn't know anything about the healthcare industry. So I'm just going, I went to dentist offices, I went to doctor's offices, I drove down the street, I walked into the senior center, I walked into all these places that I thought were good referral sources. And I'm sure, as I'm sharing this with you now, there are some of you out there who are like, yep, that's what I did, and this is why I'm struggling, because I'm going where I think the business is. So the best referral sources, I'm just going to go straight to Home Care Pulse. All right, Home Care Pulse, the benchmark study that I just talked about a little while ago, for those of you who are joining in now, Home Care Pulse, they have, you see right here, the best referral sources for business based off of everybody that they surveyed. Home health, hospice companies, those are what I call power partners. We'll come back to those later. Hospitals, great referral source, very difficult to get into. We have training programs on helping people how to get hospital business. Assisted living, skilled nursing facility, those two are my personal favorite referral source types, because my power partners are different. So I'll talk about that, like I said, in a little bit. But the assisted living and the skilled nursing I love, because a skilled nursing facility is going to have people who are sick with great need, and they need help real soon, and they need a lot of help. And if not for us, they're probably going to have to stay in a nursing home paying privately out of pocket to be there. And the average cost of a nursing home around the country is around $100,000 to $110,000 per year. So that's a lot of money. Most people, if they had to pay, would rather pay to be at home. That's us. The reason why I like assisted living so much is because assisted living has already done the hard part of qualifying the person financially to make sure that this person can afford services. And the average assisted living nowadays is about $60,000 $1,000 a year. So if there's somebody on site that needs help, we already know that they have the resources to be able to afford it. That's what I like about assisted living. Then you have your networking opportunities, which again comes from Power Partners. I pat myself on the back for this because this is the first time in 9 years of the Home Care Pulse benchmark study where professional networking is one of the top 10 referral sources. And that's because of the strength of my clients. I know it. I have helped enough clients around the country that know how to properly network and get business from that networking. And so as a result, it's finally there. And then last is your rehabilitation hospitals. I don't talk about Medicaid program, I don't talk about VA because most people know how to get business from that and there's enough to go around. But if you're trying to grow private pay, you're going to have to actually physically go out and generate the referrals, and these are the best places to go. One thing I love about the Home Care Pulse report for this year is that they finally created a new category called Masters. Masters are people who have had at least $5 million or more in revenue generated in a single year. My company, CareChoice, back in 2010 and 11, would have been considered a master organization, which is part of the reason why I help so many people now today. But if you look at this and you see skilled nursing facilities and assisted living communities are the number 1 and 2 or two of the top referral sources for the masters. And then you look at this column over here where it says 30% of the revenue and 20%. That means that assisted living communities and skilled nursing facilities represent 50% of the revenue of these companies surveyed. 50% of a $5 million business is $2.5 million from just 2 referral source types. And so with that said, there's a whole bunch of stuff that I'm going to go over at the boot camp about qualifying the referral sources. Because if you don't qualify the referral sources, you can waste a lot of time. Here's a free website for you to go to. Write it down. skillednursingfacilities.org. skillednursingfacilities.org. If you go to that website, you can find all the skilled nursing facilities in your area. Type in your zip code. It'll give you a radius of 25 to 50 miles, depending on how much of a radius you set up for yourself. And if you have a 25-mile radius and you find there's 100 skilled nursing facilities in your area, I guarantee all 100 of those do not have an abundance of referrals to send you. So while, Home Care Pulse, this is why I thank them for this, because this information is fantastic. But you got to go deeper than just knowing the referral source type. You have to know how to qualify. And that's the whole reason why I say come to the boot camp. We have 25 tickets left. If you get one of those, I'll teach you how to qualify your accounts, like all of my mastermind clients. This is a picture of me in Houston, Texas. Actually, this is a picture of me on the moon with my mastermind clients, right? So we went to Houston, Texas back in September for a mastermind meeting. And at that mastermind meeting on the fun day, we all went to NASA and we took this photo together. But the reason why I'm showing you this photo is because every single person in this room here, these are all some of my top clients who thoroughly understand, and the reason why they're my top clients, and every one of them last year had their best year ever. The reason why is because they know not only where to go, but how to qualify the accounts and the importance of it to get the referrals of people who need a lot of help, and they need the help now, because that's the key in being able to convert a private pay client. Somebody who needs you, they need you now, and they need a lot of help, which is easier to step. And every one of my mastermind clients truly, truly understands that. That's what I love about training people on this. And you can have the same thing too when you come to the boot camp. Now, the next thing, once we know where to go, what do we have to do in these accounts? Like what are the activities that I got to do every day, every week, every month to be able to generate it? Because it's going to take time. It's going to take effort. When I walk into one of these well-qualified skilled nursing facilities, guess what? They probably already have a laundry list of home care companies to refer to. So I'm not going to walk in there and they're going to just refer me tomorrow. That's not going to happen. It's going to take time. It's going to take effort. It's going to take energy. It's going to take resources. So what do I have to do to get the business? And that's what this is right here. This is what I call the formula for success, which again, I'm going to go in great detail at the boot camp in 4 weeks. So the first thing you got to do is you got to see people. With a full-time marketing effort, you have to see 35 to 45 people face to face every single week. Every single week. This is not a phone call. This is not a email. This is not sending somebody a thank you letter. This is face to face every single week. You got to see 35 to 45 people. Now, if you are a business owner who runs your business and you're a one-man or a one-woman operation and it's just you running your company, then I'm going to say you can see 15 to 25 people face to face. This is the business owner who does not have a marketing rep. So if you don't have a marketing rep and you're the business owner, you got to see 15 to 25 people every single week. Now, I already know when people say, well, how am I going to do that? Do I have the time to do it? If you don't have, 30 clients, and if you're able to run your business by yourself, because why are you running it by yourself? You're running it by yourself because you don't have enough resources, right? It means you don't have enough money. If you don't have enough, because otherwise, if you had more money, you would hire help, right? So if I don't have enough money to be able to hire more help, then I don't have enough clients to be able to do that either, which means I have more time. So then you have to make the time. And this is what we do with our clients at the boot camp. I'll teach you how to balance your time and make it more productive and more efficient. All right, so understand that, right? I love when somebody tells me, I'm so busy. And I say, how many clients do you have? I have 5 clients. Great. Those 5 clients, you have caregivers going in there, they can pretty much manage it, and you should be able to handle that with like maybe 5 to 10 hours a week, which means that if I have another 15 hours or so that I can dedicate to marketing, that's how you get your 15 to 25 face-to-face business. Again, we teach people at the boot camp, I'll teach you how to do that. So then you got to take this and you have to add to it. All right, an activity that I have to do every single week. One of the most important one is a lunch and learn. Every single week. So here I just told you where to go for business. I told you you have to qualify. When you qualify and you know where to go for business, well, now I got to be able to get in front of people who have potential to send me referrals, and that's why I have to do a lunch and learn every single week. So I'm going to give you 2 to 4 weeks off for vacation. So that's 48 lunch and learns that you have to do every single year, 1 a week, in 48 places. You can definitely do that, because when you do a lunch and learn, this is what leads you to getting referrals. And the next thing we have to do, +1 networking event. We have to do a networking event every single week. I just showed you professional networking is one of the top 10 referral sources for private duty home care. Well, if I'm not going to networking events, how am I going to be able to network? You have to do it. You got to make it part of your every week marketing effort. And this could be 2 hours, and this could be an hour, maybe 2 hours, including drive time. So this is 4 hours worth of time, but it's 4 hours worth of time well spent if you know how to do a lunch or if you know how to do a networking event, which I'm going to teach you how to do at the boot camp. All right. The next thing you got to do, we'll add another one here, 1 CE. A CE stands for community event. So every single week I have to go to some other community event besides a networking event. Now this could be a wine and cheese tasting at an assisted living. This could be a dine and dash at a skilled nursing facility or CCRC. This could be a CEU event, continuing education unit, that a hospital puts on or somebody else hosts for social workers and discharge planners and people that need credits. But you have to do this every single week, because what this does, each of these, this is an opportunity to speak to people about my business. This is an opportunity to find connections and contacts that I don't have. This is an opportunity to find connections and contacts that I don't have. And then the last one, 1SA, this is a sponsored activity. Every single week, and I can leverage this in a skilled nursing facility, in an assisted living community, in a CCRC, at a hospital, at an independent living community, all of adult daycare, all of the places I just said, I can leverage a sponsored activity to get my lunch and learn. And so again, so this is the formula. If you do all this every week, what does this equal? Success. If you do this every single week, this is the formula for success. So I know where to go for business. Now I know what kind of effort I have to put into my marketing. If I'm the business owner, like I mentioned here, who doesn't have a lot of clients, who can't afford a marketer yet, I got to do this myself. Give me 15 hours a week. 2 hours, 2 hours, 2 hours, 2 hours. That's 8 hours, and then give 7 more hours to get the rest of these 15 to 25 people. The good news is if I do a lunch and learn for 5 people, that counts towards this. If I meet 5 people at this networking event, that counts towards this. And then 2 people or 3 people here and 2 people here, that's 15. I only have to meet 10 more people through my marketing effort out there on the road. That will help to start generate the referrals that I need to grow my business so that I can afford a marketer who can then put the full-time effort in and then start bringing in full-time marketing effort referral numbers. All right, so that's what you have to do. And so moving forward with this is Tom, who is one of my top clients all time. What I love about Tom is Tom has been in business for 25 years. As a matter of fact, last month, I was honored and privileged not only to be invited to, but also being able to attend his 25-year anniversary. I'm also proud to be able to say that last year was his most successful year ever. His business, when he first started it, didn't have a lot of competition. He was able to grow it without having to do all of this stuff. But then over the course of time, around 2010 to 2015, that 5-year window, the business, his industry rather, exploded on the local market. He went from having 20 or 30 competitors to having several hundred competitors, several hundred. So think about it. If you're in a densely populated area, you might have several hundred competitors. And he watches his business that he built for then 15 years start to go downward. And it was not doing what he once was doing because he lost the market share because there were so many clients, so many home care companies in his marketplace. Then he moved forward, came to a boot camp, learned how to do this stuff, and trained. You see Captain America there. That was his marketing representative who's now got promoted to something else because they're scaling and growing. And they have another marketing rep now because they had the best year ever who understood this, matched up with where to go for the business, and the referrals started coming in and they scaled and grew, and they're billing out more than 4,000 hours a week now. 4,000 hours a week. That's insane. Best year ever. Understanding this, understanding where to go. And he's in Maryland. So just wanted to show that to you. All right. Understand that. Now moving forward, once you do that, next thing we have to do is we have to create power partners. If you were on the Home Care Pulse webinar, the summit, digital summit that I was a part of 2 weeks ago, you would remember I talked a lot about power partners. Power partners are everything, all right? So if we don't have power partners, we're not going to be able to get into the accounts that we want to get into. It's as simple as that. We're not going to be able to get into the accounts that we want to get into. We need power partners. This is where I always talk about, and I think I drew it out then, the three-legged bar stool of home-based providers. All right, private duty is one, but then we have to have hospice and we have to have home health. Now, something that I talked about during the last couple of webinars, which is now coming to a head, and it's happening for all of my clients around the country. And so I'm going to share with you some inside information. Right now, I said this back in December, with the PDGM. Well, PDGM, I hope you all know what this stands for. PDGM. Patient-driven grouping model. Patient-driven grouping model. This is how Medicare does their payments now. It went into effect as of January 1st, 2020. For months, I have been saying this is going to shake up the healthcare industry. For months, I have been saying the home health and hospice counterparts that we work with of the three-legged bar stool here, our power partners, they're scared. They're going to be worried. Many of them are going to go out of business, all right? I'm not kidding with that because it's already starting to happen, all right? I haven't seen the national reports, but from the 100+ clients that I'm working with through our coaching programs, I'm hearing this from them. So it's, I know if I'm hearing it from all of them, it's happening all across the country. This is a big deal. For the first time in the history of our industry, these guys actually need to work with us now. Because here's what's happening. Because of the PDGM shift, Medicare is not going to be providing as much therapy as they once provided, which means that people who were not going to be readmitted to the hospital with the way things were last year will now not get as much therapy as they were getting last year, which means that you're going to have more hospitalizations, which means that the readmission initiative, which has been fairly steady for these last 4 or 5 years, is going to worsen. The home health national readmission rate right now today, based off of last year's stats, is around 15.5%, just under 16%, which means for every 100 patients they bring home, 15 to 16 people get readmitted. But when you cut the therapy programs and people are getting less therapy than they were before, you're going to have people not get back on their feet as quickly, and you're going to have people who will rapidly decline, and you're going to see the readmission rates go up. The reason why I say I know this is happening is that I just hung up the phone with one of my clients in Dallas, Texas a little while ago. And they were telling me that all of a sudden, for years, they've been trying to get into a couple of home healths, and there was one that was really working closely with them. The one that was working really closely with them, I said, we want to work more with you now. This happened last week. And then there were 2 others that they used to try to talk to, and they would continue to go, and they continued to try and create the power partnership of this three-legged bar stool. They're trying to create it with these other 2 home health companies. All of a sudden, they're like, we want to start referring you. We want to do this. You want to do that, whatever. And I said, what do you think drove that? And they said, well, you know, I know. And then I talked back to this. Like, why out of the blue, a place that you've been trying to get in and work tightly with for a year now, why out of the blue, 2 different ones and the one you already worked, 3 different companies want to start working with you even closer now? Why would that happen? This is why. This is the opportunity that we've been looking for. Create something to wrap around the benefit, working with these folks together to form, write this down, an interdisciplinary team approach to providing care. When we work with these folks, Medicare is going to keep paying them, but they're getting less reimbursement. They're not doing the therapy the way that they used to, less care. To keep their readmission rates at that under 16%, they need more than what Medicare covers. That's the private duty. And then what's in it for them? When I have a patient in private duty that goes to the hospital and they need rehab, when they come home and they need home health, I want to bring my power partner in because I know that therapy team, I know that nursing team, I know that company, And that's in the best interest of my care for, here's another term to write down, continuity of care. It really, truly is all about power partners, my friends. This is one of my favorite clients, one of my mastermind clients, the people all around me. Megan there is one of my coaches. She's with the blonde hair to the left in the photo. And everybody else is from a group in Minnesota, Minneapolis, Minnesota. All right. How did they see last year? 2019 was their best year ever in business. How did they get their numbers so high? Because of their relationship with their power partners. Their power partners not only referred them, this is why I call them a power partner, because it's more than a referral source. If you remember, hospice and home health were 2 of the top 10 referral sources. So you get referrals from power partners and you refer your power partners. But who else feeds your power partners? Hospitals, rehabs, LTACs and nursing homes, assisted living, etc. Assisted living, CCRCs. If we're partnered up, we work together to go walk into that account, and we share contacts and we share referral sources together because you're helping me provide care. Let's go get more business together. I'm referring you when I have somebody in need. Let's go and get more business together. That's the Power Partner Network. That's at the boot camp. The first presentation at the boot camp next month is how to create power partners. The reason why I put such an emphasis on this is because I know if you want to scale your business to $3 million and beyond, you're gonna need help. You can't do it by yourself. That's why do you think this event is selling out? Because it's all about power partners. All right, and remember, if you get the rapid results kit, we're running a special live. If you call in live, the phone is ringing, I'm hearing it ring. If you call in live, you can get this at a special discounted rate, which gives you a ticket to the bootcamp. So you can come to the bootcamp, get the power partner training, and you watch it again and again and again and again as part of the rapid results kit. So call in now and say, I want the rapid results special discount that you're offering. I want to come to that bootcamp, all right? While those last tickets are still available. Now, the next is you got to differentiate. What do I mean by differentiate? Steve, I have 200 competitors in my marketplace. How am I going to stand out when I have so much competition? It's impossible to stand out. Well, one of the boot camp topics, this is why I say you got to come to the boot camp. One of the boot camp topics is how to separate yourself, do what I call killer campaigns. It's how to create specialty programs that separate you from your competitors. Now, how did I learn this? I learned this back in 2006. You know why? Because even though some of us today have hundreds of competitors, back in 2006, I had 100+ competitors. And everyone's talking about home care, and we send a caregiver in the house, and we can help with ADLs, and you know, our caregivers are the best caregivers. That's what everybody was saying. And I said, I got to do better than that. And so this is where I created my very first specialty program. And it was a fall prevention program. That's what that says, right? It was a fall prevention program. And the reason why I created a fall prevention program is real simple. We were good at preventing falls. I looked at my statistics. I looked at all the people we were taking care of. And what was the one thing that most of my clients had in common? 95% of the people were using my services to prevent a fall from occurring. And I was like, wow, this makes so much sense. Now, something I will share with you right now. Do you happen to know what the number 5 leading cause of death for the elderly is? I'll give you a hint. It's written on the board behind me. A fall. An unintentional fall or an injury from a fall is the number 5 leading cause of death. When you look at your patients that you're taking care of right now, many of them are using your services to prevent an injury from occurring, to keep mom home safe and sound so that they don't have to worry about finding her on the floor with a broken hip. Have you ever had this happen to you before? You go into a rehab or you go into a hospital and you screen a prospective client. And that client tells you a horror story of how they had a stroke, they fell on the floor and were laying there on the floor for 2 days before someone found them. That could have been prevented had they had some level of care in place. And their biggest fear going home, I don't ever want that to happen again. Boom, boom, boom. This first specialty program that I created, a fall prevention program, is what blew my business up. And then later on, I eventually created an orthopedic program around hip replacements and people who had ankle fractures and shoulder surgeries and so on. Because people who have orthopedic procedures take a long time to recover. They're going to need help beyond what Medicare covers. They're going to need help with those ADLs every single day. Another program that I created was a stroke program. This program right here, by the way, the #1 cause of long-term disability is strokes. The average length of stay in a nursing home setting after a hospitalization for a patient who has a stroke who's 65 years and older is 46 days. That's right. The average length of stay, LOS, is 46 days from someone who had a massive stroke. Now, if I specialize in stroke, that's going to give me 24/7 clients. It's going to be people 84 hours a week, live-ins, because they need a lot of help and they need it now and need it for a long period of time. That's a fantastic client. So, differentiate is the way to go. Here's another one, right? Oh, by the way, stroke, #4, leading cause of death. #5 is falls. And here is #6, leading cause of death. Dementia. Dementia. There is nothing short of one-on-one care that will totally take care of a dementia patient. When you look at the assisted living communities offering memory care, think about this. They're charging $8,000 a month, $10,000 a month for somebody to live there, and it's still not one-to-one. Home care, private duty, is the only thing that is 1-to-1 ratio. And for the same $10,000 a month they would pay to be in a memory care unit anyway, they can get all the care that they need and stay in the comfort of their home, which is a better setting in most instances for a dementia patient because at least there's familiarity there. Differentiate. Now at the boot camp, because again, I'm running out of time here. This is where I'm going to, there's a whole session dedicated on how, so that's great. Do a dementia program, do a stroke program, how? That's at the boot camp. I'm going to teach you how to do it. That's the reason why the event is selling out, right? Because this is what people need to do to separate from the 800 competitors that you have. I'm going to teach you how to do it. And these are just some, notice how these stats came off the top of my head. I'm not reading a script here. I know that I live this stuff. I eat this stuff for breakfast, and I just go and I run and I put it out there and I help my clients scale and grow. There's a reason why my company's been in business for 8 years now. Since 2012, we have helped home care companies around the world increase their revenue by more than $1 billion. This is legit. This stuff works. I'm showing you all these testimonies. Here's another one. This gentleman and his wife with the lady with the glasses, Dan and Suzanne, are one of my most successful clients. I'm not going to tell you the money that they're generating, but they have billed out more than 5,000 hours for 3 years in a row. I believe they're at 7,000 hours of private pay revenue service every single week right now today. And by the way, they opened their doors in February of 2015. So they scaled all that in the last 5-6 years, working with me every step of the way. And they understand how to differentiate. They understand where to go for business. They understand creating power partners. They understand what marketing initiative and marketing effort it takes every single week to be able to do this. As an added bonus, as I'm speaking about Dan and Suzanne, Dan, right there, not only is he getting this award at my boot camp, he is a featured speaker of the next boot camp. So when you come to this boot camp in March, this is what people are like, why should I come to the one in March? There's a reason why you come to the one in March, because he doesn't speak at all the boot camps. He's only spoken once. This is the second time he's speaking at a boot camp to help you on an operational side. How do you scale and grow your business to this level, to 7,000 hours a week? What do you think you're going to learn from that session? It's called War Room 101. Scaling your home care business. War Room 101. I'm telling you, you've got to be at that boot camp. Call in now, get your rapid results kit, discounted price, and then you get to come to the boot camp and register and get all the information on how to do this from myself, from Dan, and other key speakers that we have at this event. This is a legitimate event. It is selling out. Make sure you're there, because if you're not there, you will regret it. I promise you that. Mark Twain said it, right? 20 years from now, you're going to regret the things you didn't do more than the things you did. That's Mark Twain. Look it up. You'll regret the things you didn't do more than the things you did. Come to the boot camp and I'll see you there. The last thing I'm going to talk about is how to get inside. So let's walk through this, right? I'm teaching you how to scale and grow your home care business to $3 million and beyond. First thing, we got to know where to go for business. Second thing, we have to know what to do in the accounts. I already talked to you about that. Third thing is we got to get those power partners going. And I explained that to you, the three-legged bar stool and how to leverage the PDGM and all of that good stuff. The fourth thing I said we have to do is we have to differentiate to stand out from the crowd. And the fifth and final thing is we have to actually physically get inside the account. And at the boot camp, there's a presentation called How to Successfully Develop a Referral Source, where I will literally walk you through everything you have to do and how deep you have to go from they have no idea who you are to they're referring you every single referral that they have. Now, one of the key things to get inside these accounts is understanding what's called leverage. They're not going to just let you walk in. They're not going to let you market for business. They're not going to give you referrals right away. You have to earn their referrals. And how do you earn their referrals? By doing things that other people aren't doing to get the referrals that other people can't get. It is real simple. Number one, I'm going to teach you at the boot camp how to refer them. Right. It's interesting. People are like, well, how do I refer a nursing home? How do I refer this? How do I refer that? If I'm a strategic partner of yours, I want referrals, but I also understand that I have to refer you. Well, how do I do that at the boot camp? I'm going to teach you how to do that. But that's one thing that we can leverage to get into an account. Number two is promoting their events. Whether you realize this or not, every hospital, every rehab, every LTech, every assisted living, every continuous care retirement community, every independent living community, every single place that we would go for business, it is part of their budget to do events on a regular, consistent basis. Most of the time, it's at least once a month they have to do an event. Now, part of doing the event is promoting it to get people to show up. But from the community / facility standpoint, those admissions marketing folks whose job it is to promote the event have a very difficult time getting out of their business and going out on the road and market, which as a reason, a lot of them don't get the attendance that they wish to have. Well, at the boot camp, I will teach you how to leverage this properly with the marketing admissions person to be an extension of their department to help fill their events in exchange for a lunch and learn. and I'll teach you how to do it properly and everything at the boot camp. But when you start to do this, that's how you start to win over somebody who's inside, to get inside the account, right? I gotta win somebody over inside the account that will help me get in there. So I will teach you this at the boot camp. This is just the second thing that I can do. Here's the third thing that I can leverage, right? I can collaborate on an event with you. So not only am I willing to promote your events, let's do one together. Every one of my clients that I just showed you has done the same exact thing. They all understand how to do events. This is something that I will go over at the boot camp, and something that we do with all of our clients directly: how to collaborate on events, what kind of events, how to do them, how to promote them, all of that good stuff, so that you can leverage this, even the timing of it. And when do you bring it up? And when do you put it on a calendar and leveraging each visit that I have to plan this event to get in the account and get the work? I'm going to teach you all of that at the boot camp, but you got to be there to be able to see it. All right. The fourth thing that we can do is we can sponsor an activity. I talked about this before. You heard me say it as part of the things we have to do every single week. This is where we're leveraging it. You come into an activities coordinator, sponsor bingo, or you do the birthdays of the month or something of that nature. She has a very small budget. You can help her stretch that, and you can leverage it to create that connection on the inside, to leverage to get the lunch learn and get in front of all the key contacts that you need to know. Again, at the boot camp, I'm going to go over in greater detail how to do this. And then all right, improve outcomes. Improve outcomes. What do I mean by that? The readmission initiative, the PDGM. It affected the skilled nursing facilities back in October, the hospitals back in October. It's affecting the home health companies now. I will teach you at the boot camp how to track your readmission rates, how to create the specialty program and wrap it all and bring everything that I talked about right here together, so that it's literally packaged, and all you have to do is go out and execute and do the work and understand how to actually improve the outcomes for your strategic partners. But the catch in improving the outcomes is you have to refer me, because I can't improve outcomes if I don't have your patients. So I can improve your outcomes if you refer me. How do you do all of this? That's how to successfully develop a referral source, which is a 90-minute session at the Hurricane Boot Camp that I'm doing next month. And like I said, we have fewer than 25 spots left. So call in, get your discount on the Rapid Results Kit, so that you can get a free ticket to the boot camp with this package by calling in now. My people are on the phone. I hear that all the lines are ringing. You can get in on that too before it's too late. And then you can be like Chanel, who's one of my favorite clients. What I love about Chanel, and this is Chanel winning an award at a boot camp, Chanel is somebody who went out and she grew her business. She got her business to 1,000, 1,200 hours a week, and she's in North Carolina. She got her business to 1,000, 1,200 hours a week, but for like a year, 2 years, she could, no matter how hard she tried, she couldn't break that plateau until she came to a boot camp. And then she went out and she moved forward with us as one of our coaching clients and has now been to our mastermind group. And she grew it to 2,000 hours. She then, after a year, said, I want to continue on my own and see if I can get this thing going without it. Took a year off. During that year off that Chanel took, her business stayed at 2,000 hours. She came back to us in August of 2018. And last year, she grew her business from August of 2018 through last year, finished the year over 3,500 hours per week. She grew her business by 75% more of what she was doing in 2018. 2,000 hours to 3,500 hours in a year's time. That is tremendous growth. And it's because she leveraged these things properly to get into the right accounts, which is the very first thing that I talked about. Doing the marketing effort every week that I laid out for you. I did another phone call just so that boot camp tickets, we've already sold a bunch of them, all right? But rapid results kits, people are getting it. There's less tickets now than there were at the beginning of this hour. Another one just was sold, all right? She did the marketing effort. She has power partners who refer her, she refers them, and they go co-marketing together. She created specialty programs that help her to stand out in her saturated marketplace there in North Carolina. Yeah, it's saturated where she is, but she's crushing it. She's killing it right now. And she travels the world with her husband, and she lives her life. She runs her business. Her business could run without her. All of these things came because she came to the boot camp. And so, do I want you to come to the boot camp? Yeah, I do. But all of these testimonies, and look, here's more people, and more, and more, and more, and even more, again and again and again, literally hundreds of businesses, $1 billion or more in revenue from doing all the things I'm going to teach you over the course of the 3 days of the boot camp. Yeah, it's in your best interest to come to this event. So I want you there. You need to be there. You're going to get all the training, everything that I went through. I gave you an overview of what we have to do to generate $3 million. Because I can't tell you what to do in an hour. You're not going to be able to grow your business from 1 hour of what I'm saying. It doesn't make any sense, right? You got to really dig deep. You got to do a lot of work, a lot of execution. But step by step, piece by piece, I got to do this, I got to do this, I got to do this, I got to do this. This is a $3 million plan, right? I want to take my $3 million business and get to $4 million. So I'm doing some of that, Steve, but there's a couple pieces I'm missing. That's why you got to come to the boot camp. It's going to give you everything you need to scale your business to where you want it to go. So again, I say to you, if you're frustrated and your business hasn't gone the way you wanted it to, be at the boot camp. If your business is doing well, but it's not doing as good as you want it to, be at the boot camp. If your brand's spanking new, why would you want to figure it out for a couple of years and mess it up? Come to the boot camp and learn how to do that. All right, so that's everything that I promised. I'm right at the top of the hour. So now I'm going to take any questions that you have, and you can still call in, all right, and get your ticket to the boot camp. There's only a couple left. You can get the rapid results deal, all right? Gives you everything now, and you get to come to the boot camp. So let's check out your questions. Oh, we do have some good questions here. All right, so let's see. So the first question I have is, wow, there are a lot of there's a network of skilled nursing facilities that our company has been focused on breaking into. We know the gatekeeper personally and have hosted events at one of their facilities where we introduced the residents to one of our specialty programs. We have established a relationship with their activities director, and she has offered to contact her to schedule ongoing events. However, our concern is that we will create a pattern of us providing ongoing activities without referrals coming in. We have spoken to the head discharge planner and managed to get a meeting with another social worker. They both mentioned the only way to get referrals from them is to be put on lists by the owners. So I actually love what you said there. So this particular person, let's see who said this. It was Terry. So Terry, you're like real close. All right, at the boot camp, we're going to go over greater details, how to wrap all of that together. But the key that's missing is we haven't done a lunch and learn yet. We haven't done a lunch and learn for the right people. So you're doing the sponsored activities, and you don't want to create this bad habit of people, just taking and taking and taking and taking, but you're not leveraging what you're doing for them to get the lunch and learn. That's what we need. We need the lunch and learn to be with more than just the social workers. We need it to be with all of the department heads. We need those owners present there. Now, when you understand all this, here's something that the owners do care about, right? That's what the owners care about. So you at your lunch and learn, and I'm going to teach you at the boot camp how to do the lunch and learn correctly so that you can touch on these 2 points with the owners present, so that at the end of that lunch and learn, the owners say, this is the company that I want you to refer, social worker, send them our patients. I don't care who we're already referring. This is who I want you to refer. So we need to understand how to properly leverage this stuff during the lunch and learn to win over the other parties who are the authorities over the social workers. The social workers said it right then and there. The only way to get the referrals is to get on the list from the owners. So we got to get to the owners. That's exactly it. So you're almost there, Terry. You just need a couple more steps in there. And I think when you come to the boot camp and then you hear the presentations that I'm talking about, you'll be able to piece it together, see what pieces you're missing, go right back to this account, and really for you, within 4 weeks, turn them into a referral machine, because you've already done the legwork of getting in the account. You just got to piece everything else together. So that's how I would answer that question. Very, very good question, Terry. And rest assured, you're real close. You're real close to getting in there, my friend. All right, here's another question I have. Oh, we've already contacted the owners with phone calls, letters, whatever. How can we move forward from here? So I just answered that question for you. All right, and then the next question I have here comes from Stephanie. And Stephanie says, if we can't make it to the boot camp, how can we learn how to create the programs? That's what the Rapid Results Kit is. All right, because I understand that not everybody can make it to the boot camp. That's why I said call in and get this. Because when you get this, I'll give you a free ticket to the boot camp. If you can't make that boot camp, we have other boot camps. You can take that ticket and use it for another boot camp, but still get everything that's in here, which is the blueprint, which is the binder, which is the schedules, which is the power partner training, which is the closing training. And don't forget, you also get one complimentary coaching session. That's $250 value. That's also part of this. So you can sit down with one of my coaches who can help you create your own specialty program. But that's in this kit right here. So that's why I said call in. Say, I want the Rapid Results with the promotion that Steve's using. Got to call in now, though. All right, Stephanie, so call in now and get the discount on this. It gives you a free ticket. If you can't make it to the one in Houston, you can use that free ticket for another one in the future. All right. Someone asked me how much is the Rapid Results. The full price of the Rapid Results is $1,000. We're doing it at a discount of $897 if you call in right now. All right, so $897, it's $100 off. Think about it this way. I'm giving you a boot camp ticket with this, right? So the boot camp ticket right now is $799. So for $100 more, you get the Rapid Results Kit. You'll have this in your hand by the end of the week. And then you can start the program and do everything you have to do, and then you get to come to the boot camp as well. That's why that is a good deal. So call in, get the Rapid Results Kit at the discounted rate, and then hold on to your boot camp ticket and use it in the future. All right, so if there are any other questions, type your questions in now. I'll keep it live for a little bit longer, and I'll answer your questions. I do have another appointment that I have to get to, but I want to take any other questions that you may have. So feel free to put it in there. But these are good questions that you've asked, folks. You know, Terry, you're this close, Terry, to getting what you want. All right, you're this close. Stephanie, get the Rapid Results Kit. Hold on to the ticket. Come to the one later on this year. We're in the process of booking all of it. I don't have the details yet, but it's coming up. And then you can use your ticket there, but you can get the kit now so you can start executing everything that I discussed here, and you'll have progress so that when you come to the boot camp, you can finish putting everything together and then just blow it up. All right, and then Joshua, I just told you the price on it. It's normally $1,000. We're doing it $897 during this webinar right now. So you save $100 and you basically get a boot camp ticket. You get the kit for $100 because the boot camp ticket comes with the Rapid Results. It's like the best deal you can get because the sum of all the pieces in this is over $2,000. So you're getting $2,500 worth of stuff for $897. No questions further? All right. Well, my friends, as always, I want to thank you for your time. It has been a pleasure. For those of you who are coming to the boot camp next month, I promise you it'll be the best one yet. It's going to be the biggest one we've ever had. As I told you, the tickets are selling out. The space, we have to stop at 200 because the fire marshal will come. I've actually done an event here in the past, and then the fire marshal will show up, and we don't want to have to deal with any of that. Plus, God forbid something happens, we want to make sure everybody's going to be okay. So you take those things seriously. So we have to stop it at 200, and we're over 275 already. So space is running out. Get your ticket, get your rapid results kit. So you get the ticket as well and all the stuff that comes in the kit. As my thank you to you, take care of our seniors. Do the best you can for them. All right. Our seniors, they're just like you and me. They're just a little bit older. They work their life. They spend all this time and all this thing to be able to retire and have some dignity and grace. All of a sudden, something happened to them. They had a stroke. They fell and broke their hip. They have dementia. It's our time to serve them. If we come together and we improve our industry now, when our time comes, however far in the future it is, because think about it this way, folks, you know, people don't just drop dead anymore. Stuff happens. All right, God willing, each and every one of us, when our time comes, it'll be like that. But for the most part, we're going to get something that's going to linger, and then we're going to pass away. And during that suffering phase at end of life, if there are good companies out there like yours and mine providing care for people, at least when our time comes, we'll be able to get the care that we need. So do the best you can now, pay it forward for them today and for ourselves in the future. I love you all. Thank you for your time. God bless. I'll see you in Houston. Take care, everybody.